Hey there.
Hey, y'all.
I'm Donnie.
And I'm Reese.
And today?
Today we're going to feature three of my personal favorites from a new manufacturer who's doing some really fun stuff. The main purpose behind even purchasing these was because I've tried time and time again to get original versions of each of these clones and never really quite fell in love with them. And these really did the trick in a really fun way because it's really for bass and tuned way down. So, the first one on your right there is Throne Torture. This is the model previous to the new one with the clean blend in a cool black and white artwork. And, it's an HM2.
Yeah.
Except it has what some people might find to be blasphemous.
Yeah, heretical.
It's 3 EQ. And you can actually kind of control the chainsaw as opposed to it just being a thing that you do or don't do. And anyway, it sounds really awesome on bass. And so here's our clean tone with my 86 P Bass tuned to C standard, the bare knuckle split 58.
And today we've got this going into our first mic'd setup, which is Reese's favorite Acoustic 370 going into a 402 cab loaded with Eminence Legends.
That's right.
And then we've got a 57 slightly off axis just right up against that fucking speaker, man.
Yeah, dude. Right up in there. Anyway, here you go. So pretty dark.
Yeah.
Pretty clean.
Yeah.
Normally I play a lot dirtier than that, so it doesn't matter, but just so you have a frame of reference, these pedals behave a lot better when you roll the tone off. Less stuff for it to feedback off of.
Yeah.
Anyway, here you go. HM2 clone. Things set pretty modestly.
Arguably the most tasteful sounding HM2 setting.
Yeah, roll the highs back, dialing back the chainsaw mids just enough to keep it from being super nasally, which it'll do that, obviously. Yeah. As you can see, his eyes light up because we're in the LED clipping mode, which is part of what makes it so raucous and so much low end.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot less general clipping going on.
Yeah.
At that drive setting.
Good headroom for bass, also. So we'll push this just a little further. We'll add a little bit of low end when you'll see even just a slight touch is going to make a huge difference in the sound. So that low end can affect the volume pretty quickly.
Pretty hot.
Yeah. And then, if you want to hear the chainsaw mids, all you got to do is take that back up to all the way up.
Yeah.
Still pretty cool, especially if you like to grind.
Yeah, which, that would sound amazing in a band context, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. And then just so you can hear, without the LED clipping, it's definitely a lot more tamed, smoother, almost more scooped.
Significantly quieter, also.
Yeah, but, maybe that's more usable. It's a little sweeter that way.
Well, and I can also imagine having more gain on guitar would be fairly useful for the, HM2 thing.
Oh, yeah. Totes.
All right.
So, yeah, pretty straightforward, but it's really, really fun, and clearly you can tell it can get to be punishing really fast. And we only got the volume at noon, and this thing is one of the loudest pedals I've ever played. And it's a real good time.
Yeah.
So, moving along to the next impulse purchase.
Like we are wont to do.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, having spent many attempts and monies at finding a really good Russian Big Muff, I've had some, loved them, but they're still just so limited. I wanted something that could do a little more. Having had a great experience with the Black Arts Pharaoh, I like the idea of controlling the mids more than just the normal tone control. This has a very similar feature. And then, of course, the part that got me was the 420 sale. And this is actually the Hail Cannabis in the Russian spec instead of the Hail Satan.
Yes.
If you couldn't tell from the bongs.
And weed.
Anyway, it's just a really loud, awesome Russian spec Big Muff with more mid control. And again, we're going to demonstrate this in the LED clipping mode first because the eyes light up, and that's just cool. Yeah, so it demonstrates some of that cool, thick, low character that a Russian Big Muff would give you stereotypically. Generally speaking, again, we've got the volume pretty backed off just for the purposes of recording.
Thanks, LEDs.
Yeah, this is also like pretty much the loudest Big Muff I've ever played, and really fun, amped up in a live situation. And then we'll just do this, kind of show you, it'll do some of the typical things that you would get with this. So if we pull the mid content back and then kind of crank the tone, you'll get that instant
sizzle.
Yeah, sizzle scoop.
Yeah, that sounds like Big Muff.
Yeah, also very usable in a band context.
Especially, yeah.
Especially
when you like using a Big Muff on bass, basically.
Totally.
So that's, in my head, that's what a Green Russian pretty much sounds like.
Yep. So then we'll take the mids in the opposite direction here and take that tone back to where it was. And then you can see how much cooler it is to have all that mid content back.
Definitely more substantial.
Yeah, volume increase. I mean,
Meat.
it's just in your face.
Beef.
Great for the power trio situation.
Yes. Or just bass and drums.
Yeah. Totes. It's your wall of doom on.
Or your Japanther on.
Sure.
Well, that'd be more the opposite of mids, but I digress.
And then, yeah, just so you can hear it, the non-LED clipping mode.
Classic style.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely more along the original intended lines.
Super creamy, thick, scoopy goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it got me. And then
plus it's a cheap weed reference with an upside down cross. Like, I'm gonna buy that every time.
Totally, yeah. It is my weakness, and it's green.
Love it.
Okay, so next, what we have is the consecutive annual 420 sale that got me again, which is the Demon Lung in a glow-in-the-dark enclosure with the newest Matt Curley artwork. Smaller box, north-facing enclosures. All the really neat things that you like about your pedal board.
It's pretty pedal board friendly.
Yeah. Anyway, again, like every other FZ2 I've owned, it just seems almost obnoxious.
And now, at this point, it's also just about the same price as buying an FC2.
Yeah.
Which is really disappointing as someone that used to have two of them just sitting on my board.
But, again, this kind of became more interesting and fun than trying to pay collector's price for a pedal I really want to use and abuse.
Well, that's just because it just has more.
Yeah. Other cool thing is it's got clean. As you can see, I'm not really using that, the clean blend function.
We just turn up.
Yeah, we just get louder, and that usually makes up for whatever quote-unquote lost low end there is. Anyway, we're on the standard clipping mode in the all octave, all mids craziness, which is maybe the first position. I don't know. There you go.
Woo.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
It's that robot grind, you know?
Totally. Almost blue box-ish in its behavior. Just really, really cool.
Yeah.
That's really just a ton of fun on guitar and bass.
Oh, yeah.
Chords, single note stuff is huge.
An FC2 can do more than just, dope throne. It can also do the action is go.
Yeah, totally. Just a lot of fun. Also exceptionally loud. We have this thing dialed back to about noon. It is pummeling in all other situations.
And this is in the stock clipping mode,
Yeah, exactly, which is a little more tame. So now we'll go to the classic dope throne action, which is a 40 dB scoop of all the mids.
Yes.
Pretty awesome.
Pretty good. You want to flip that diode switch, though?
Yeah, so the diode switch on this one adds some classic, oft used in the Klon.
Because why not? Push your glasses up with it. Yeah.
Why not?
That just adds a gargantuan heft.
Yeah, it is pure beef. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
fucking great lot of pedals. That's what it is.
Yeah, really, really fun trio that I will eventually slap on a pedal board with a bunch of other really goofy time-based effects.
Yeah.
And maybe a rat.
Well, yeah.
And then, play it real loud.
Yeah, so Abominable's easy to find. I don't know where they're stocked, but they are very present on Instagram. You can definitely
go follow
buy
them.
direct.
Yeah, that's really kind of the way they're working on getting to stocking levels, but everything's really been pretty much, queue it up and wait for it, And
I don't seem to have a hard time selling them.
No, they're really cool. It's been worth the wait every time. And then, of course, if you don't feel like waiting, go to Reverb or whatever.
Fuck it, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but, maybe you should give him your money.
Yeah, probably.
That's cool.
Well, thanks for joining us on this adventure through 3 of Reese's new favorites. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. We hope you enjoyed our first mic demo as much as we maybe did. I don't know. We haven't even edited it yet. If you have any constructive or deconstructive criticism, feel free to throw it down in the comments section. Share it with your friends. Maybe, who knows, someone else will like it more than you do. Other than that, I was Donnie, and...
I am Reese, I think.
And we'll probably see you later.
Yeah.